Hi, everybody. I am in such a better headspace than I was yesterday, and that is in no small part thanks to all of you and your support. So thank you so much for that. I like to consider myself a pretty emotionally resilient person, and I like to think that when things happen to me, I can just kind of bounce right back like nothing happened at all and be fine. But sometimes I have to remind myself that at the end of the day, I am still a person. And there's only so much that you can put into someone's cup before it overflows. So that's what happened to me yesterday. I'm not going to apologize for anything that I said or did because I don't think I did anything wrong. But I do admit that some people might have had a problem with it. And I acknowledge that that is regrettable for those people. And I know that a lot of people would probably consider that to be a bad thing. But I want to present to you an alternative way of looking at the situation. So stick with me here because I understand that this is a little bit unorthodox, but I've been considered a weirdo my whole life. I'm not going to all of a sudden expect any different now. In our culture, we typically view death as bad. And we pretend to be sad when someone dies because that's how other people expect us to react. And, we cry at the funeral and whatever. In other cultures, however, death is good. Death is a good thing. Death is a celebration. They don't have funerals in other cultures. They have parties. And I often wondered why that disparity existed. And I really think that what it boils down to is that our culture is so deeply selfish and self-centered. Our culture relies on us being the center of the universe in order to function. In other words, we have a very individualistic society. So, of course, we're going to be upset when somebody dies because we're not thinking about them. We're thinking about ourselves and how their death affects us. We're thinking about all the things that they can no longer give to us and provide to us now that they're dead. We don't care about them, even down to our language. We say things like turn left, turn right. Those don't make any sense as directions because then you have to say, well, do you mean my left or your left? And it's not an objective truth, left and right. It only makes sense if, again, you're the center of the universe. Everything exists in relation to you. And in other cultures, they don't have that. They don't say left and right. They say east and west and north and south. And so, of course, we're going to be selfish because it permeates every single thing that we do. My wife does not get this at all. And I completely understand why. Because she is